Order. On Monday, the 17th of March, I informed the House that there would today be an opportunity for honourable and right honourable members to pay tribute to the Right Honourable Tony Benn.
Mr. William Cash.
I'm very grateful indeed that it's a great opportunity to pay a tribute to a great Democrat and to say how much I appreciated every time he came in the House of Commons after he'd left the House. I'd always speak to him in the tea room. He loved coming in the tea room. And it was always, he was so amiable, but he was a great orator. He was a great Democrat. He really believed in this House of Commons. And I so well remember, for example, with respect to the coal strike, he obviously, with the background that he had, I certainly having completely different attitude, as it were, philosophy in terms of the differences between our views as Conservatives and as a profound socialist, which is what he was, but a great socialist, one of the old school, if I may put it that way, ranking with the Bevans of this world and all the really great figures of the Labour Party of those days. On the question of the coal strike, I so well remember, because I opposed the closure of the pits when the now Lord Heseltine was the Secretary of State. And I took the view that this was something which was completely unjustified. I had mines near my constituency. I knew quite a lot about it. But he got up and he challenged Michael Heseltine on his credentials for closing those pits. And I well remember that it really did had the most devastating impact on Michael Heseltine, and he sat down. And they got through by, I think it was one vote. There were only 4 of us on this side of the House who actually opposed that legislation. And I suppose it could be said that there are some of us who do take a view which is not always consistent with those of the whips on our own side. And I have to say that Tony Benn would take exactly the same view. And on Europe, I take the point about that's just been made about the fact that he was a true European, because I agree with that. It's not the kind of European that some people would construe it as. I personally took exactly the same view, and still do, about what the European Union meant and means to the people of this country. But he and I did actually share a platform together. I remember in Trafalgar Square, and he turned to me and he said, "Bill," he said, "I think you're the only Conservative MP I've ever shared a platform with or ever will." Now, I think that was, to me at any rate, a very great tribute. And I remember, Mr. Speaker, in your own Speaker's House only a few months ago, sitting down with Tony Benn and having a conversation with him, and he was so delighted to be there, and he was obviously getting much weaker at that stage. But it was a tremendous privilege for me to be able to sit down in your house and to have a really good chat with him about the things that we shared and believed in. Even though we were completely different philosophically and disagreed with one another on certain matters. But when it came to representing his constituents, when it came to representing this House of Commons, and I look back and I think of his dedication to the ideas of the levellers, I think that was something which always struck me. He really knew and understood what it was that went on at the moment when the House of Commons became the House of Commons in that period of time during the Cromwellian period. He really believed in it passionately, and it was his passion and it was beliefs and his conviction. That's what I will always remember him for. And I think it's a fitting tribute to him that so many people have been able to speak up at this moment of sadness, but also a moment of pride. Thank you very much.